You may have played poker, but playing poker in Texas is a different animal. This is the Texas Poker Podcast with Tyler and Clint.
Hello, this is the Texas Poker Podcast. I'm Tyler. This is Clint.
What's up, y'all?
And we are back with episode 78.
Episode 78. So, we've got quite a few interesting things to talk about. One, it's going to be at the end of the podcast, but I went to one of those free games, but it's at one of the more popular bars in Houston, at Stampede, Houston, and I just wanted to see what it was like. So, it was kind of a cool experience, because I used to play a lot of them, but I've never played at one that's kind of like a
upbeat club.
Yeah, exactly. Because usually it's like in the middle of the week, and it's kind of like it just, kind of not run down bars, but just, not like as nice as that is. So I thought that was an interesting experience. But the first one is with us playing at a 1-2 game together. And I think the games that we are playing kind of against each other at the same table always make for good podcast material.
100%. I guess the first big hand that we played, oddly, was against each other. But I had King 8 of diamonds on the button.
Okay, and I remember this. I have Ace King.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure I was straddling this hand.
So you are directly on my right for all the hands on this podcast. So might as well go ahead and so everybody can get the position. So if you're on the button, I would have had first action. Mm-hmm. I raise it up with Ace King.
Yes, and I think a few people call you, right?
Yeah. At this game, it's pretty loose. Almost nothing goes like heads up or three ways usually. So I think there's quite a few people who call me.
Gets to me, I complete. I was like, well, this is probably fine.
Right. I mean, a suited king. I mean, I like this. If you're going to straddle, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the straddle, but if you're going to straddle, I feel like this is a good hand to defend with.
Flop comes great for me. 8 of clubs and then diamond, or king of diamonds. No, sorry.
You have king 8 of diamonds, right?
Yeah, no. Hold up. Say, I know it was a great flop for me. So I guess it was because it had to be king of clubs and then 2 diamonds.
Yes, that's correct. On this is a bet. This is something I'm going to size up quite a bit. One is I'm going to get.
You have ace king.
I have ace king. I'm going to get all the lesser kings to call. I'm going to get most pocket pairs over an 8 to call. Some 8s will call, and some flush draws. So I'm looking to size up here. I bet about 2/3 pot, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And then you get called.
And I get it called. Mm-hmm. by one caller before it comes around to you.
Comes back to me. I go all in. Or did I just raise to 100? I think I raised to 100, right?
You raised to 100, but was your all in?
Yeah.
I definitely remember you were all in. I remember it was about 100. Well,
no, because
wait.
Yeah, no, I had you folded, and then he only had 100. That's what it was. But I added on after that, and that's why it looked like I had so much money.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's so once you make this move, I don't think you have a ton of bluffs with what the pot is and all that here. I have ace king, which is about the strongest that I'm going to be here outside of pocket kings. I think it over, and I make a very, very nitty fold here with ace king.
I don't mind it as much with the player behind you.
I wasn't worried about him, though, because all his strong hands are raising, I believe.
I mean, we thought so until we heard his hand. I mean, I'm also thinking he's raising pre-flop, which gets me out of there.
So I fold. I make a very nitty, kind of I hate folding this. This just seems very weak to me. And he calls, and he shows over ace king. And obviously you show over the king. And
king 8 of diamonds with the pair and a flush draw.
Right. And I mean, at this point, and then it runs out.
Brick.
Yeah, and I'm kicking myself over this fold. Later, as I was analyzing it, I was like, I don't really mind it because all your made hands, you're never doing this with king, queen, or worse.
Definitely not.
So all your made hands have me crushed. The only hands that would
Is like literally that hand.
yeah, is literally that hand, or maybe I don't remember, some type of combo diamond draw, maybe. So really, when I call and I'm right, I'm really at around 50-50. When I call and I'm wrong, I'm basically just drawing damn near dead. So, as I kind of analyzed it further throughout the night, I was like, well, that was not that bad of a fold. But in the moment, I was kind of tilted because I just felt like it was such a weak, crappy fold. But looking back and looking at what I think your range is, I feel like it kind of was a justifiable fold.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So then I add on, and then I get ace king the next, or maybe like a few hands later. I make it 15, everyone folds. The very next hand I get ace king again. I think I raise and you 3-bet me, and then someone flatted behind, right?
Yes, you raise, I 3-bet, I have pocket queens, and then get flatted behind.
And then I go all in for, how much do you think it was? Kind of a lot, right? Like $200 bucks
quite a bit, yeah.
for the game. Yeah, it was like maybe $250 probably.
No, it wasn't that much.
No, okay, well,
It
200.
Maybe 150 to 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go all in, then the action's back on you.
It comes to me. I'm still a little tilted over making what I thought was, at the time, like later I was okay with it, but at the time I thought it was way too tight of a fold. Queens here. I know with ace king you're doing this all day, every day. And if you have aces or kings, good for you. You're getting my money. I make a call. I think about it for like 5 seconds, and then I make what's pretty much a snap call, a easy call here. The other player folds, and we run it, and queens hold. No help
You flop
for ace
a
or king.
set. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I did flop a set. So that was good for me, sad for Tyler.
Yeah. So then I get aces a few more times. They get cracked every time. I get kings twice. Gets cracked both times. I got jacks once. Got cracked again. And then my final hand. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, you ran about as crappy that night as anybody I've ever seen, because you got such great pre-flop hands the entire night, and just could not, literally the worst possible scenario in every single one of them.
Which is weird because most of them just ended up being all in, but you know, that ceases to matter. So this was a super interesting hand, I thought. I have 9-10 of spades, I believe. Or 9-10 of hearts, sorry, 9-10 of hearts. The flop, I raise pre-flop, hold everyone there calls. Flop comes 6 queen, it was 6 queen and then like another low card with 2 hearts. So I had a gutter. How did I have a gutter? I had a gutter. Definitely was the queen. So the jack was a gutter, so it would have had to come
6 queen 8.
Yeah, 6 queen 8.
Okay.
So I just see bet. I get called. No, sorry. I bet I get called. Heads up now. I turn double gutted.
Okay.
So I was like, well, this is perfect. I bet 50. He min raised me to 100. I go all in. No, I didn't min raise it to 100. He donked. That's what it was. And I went all in. He donked 25. And then I went all in thinking that I would have fold equity. He snap calls. He had queen 5 offsuit and actually rivered 2 pair. but was good the whole time. I had my flush draw and double gutted.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wait, you were good the whole time? Or wait.
No, he was good the whole time.
Yeah, okay.
I said he rivered 2 pair, but he was good with the queen the whole time.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I mean, this is one of those that I think it's hard to say because I keep making these moves as well when I turn equity and betting, and I'm sure there are times where they are getting through, and I just don't. They're harder to remember than the times they're getting called. But good God, it seems like everybody's just stacking off so light.
Well, yeah, that was pretty light. But yeah, because once he donked, I went all in. I thought for sure he'd be folding whenever he bet smaller than I bet on the flop. But he called, and but whenever after the session, I was like, kind of running some numbers on the poker calculator. I guess I just didn't realize once you lose that other card, how much your odds drop, your equity drops to the river with only one card to come.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, once he calls, you're in a horrible spot. Because let's say you have 8 outs, and you're only at 16%.
Well, 8 outs would be my double gut. I have a flush draw to go with it.
Oh, you had the flush draw to go with it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say I'm not shipping it.
So you have the 9 outs with the 3. So you have 15 outs. So you're about 30%.
Yes, I just felt like I had more equity than that. But tell you what, that math does not lie. Yeah, no, I had the flush draw with double gutted, and he donks, and I just ship it all in, thinking he's gonna fold, and if not, double gutted with the flush draw.
I mean, I don't mind this. I mean, because you are getting a lot of worse hands. You are getting a lot of better hands to fold because I like this because you're at 10 high. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're getting a lot of things that are just random pairs that aren't a queen. I don't know how many of those are just donking in on the turn, though. I mean, either way, someone could fold queen 5 here or something sometimes, right? I don't know.
I think it's very possible to fold queen 5 offsuit.
I mean, for us, but it seems like everybody else is just. It seems like at this game, top pair is gonna stack off as a nuts, right?
100%.
So I don't know. I mean, but let's say you had a ton of equity and pushed. I mean, hopefully sometimes you take it down, and when they call, hopefully that 30% comes into play.
Hopefully. Did not this time.
Well,
so that's when I got the big boot and was out.
Yeah, and once you left, people were like, God damn, he ran so bad. It's so my big hands were that queen's hand versus your ace king. And then I was trying to get away, I'd just go hang out or whatever. But it's kind of what it normally is at this table. I don't want to break the game because it does get short-handed at times. And then there's this one guy he's not really being that annoying, but sometimes somebody gets on my nerves just for random stuff.
Yeah, because you're you.
Because I'm me. And he's... we're talking about, just the random distribution of cards and how someone came and took your seat, and we're like, that seat's been bad or whatever. And he's like, so he comes and jumps in, and he's like, no, y'all, once you shuffle and all that, and once you fold a card, it changes everything. Yes, we know dipshit.
Yeah.
I mean, when people try to be smarter than the room when they're dumb, it really rubs me the wrong way. And after that, I don't know why, I wanted to, get this guy. Usually this comes in to, just kill me when this happens.
I was about to say, normally these are the words I hear before you're out for zip.
100%. I mean, it could not be more true. So I end up I have queen 9 suited, raise, me and him get into a heads-up pot. I flop just gold. When I flop queen 9 of clubs, I flop a 9 with 2 clubs. So I c-bet, he calls. I don't think I played this hand well at all, actually, just for clarification. Turn a 9. I turn trips. I check it. Yeah, I know. It's just... Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things you're always trying to be... you outthink yourself, and he checks behind. I mean, I was like, well, I'm not scared of almost any card in the deck here. Let me see what happens. check. The river gives me a flush. He now donks 40 into me. And I kind of act like I don't believe him and raise to 100.
That's a small raise, it seems.
Yeah, I wanted to get value. I mean, like, it's a small raise, but in this game, there's not a ton of gigantic raises here.
Seemed like I was making a ton of gigantic raises.
And you were getting called, so yeah, that's...
Yeah, I was about to say, so you should be shipping it there, I would say, 100% of the time. Because he called me with Queen 5 for an all-in.
Oh, you know what? It was a club that paired the board.
Ooh, that changes literally everything.
Well, it paired the board. I have the 9.
Oh, so it was under the 9.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was a little nervous that if I'd like bet like 300, because me and him were the 2 deepest stacks there. Mm-hmm. I was a little nervous if let's say I go to like 300 and just go all in here.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, this changes literally everything. So now I agree with the bet.
Yeah. But I still think I'm too strong not to raise here.
Yeah.
Because I got all the lesser flushes now and stuff like that. So
I mean, you have a boat. You have 9s full, right?
no, I don't have a boat. I had trips and then river to flush.
Oh, I thought you said the other card paired the board. If you had trips and it paired the board, that'd be a boat.
Wait.
That's what I was saying. It literally changes everything. If you had trips and the board pair, that gives you a boat.
What was I thinking? No, okay, it must not have paired the board.
That's what I was thinking. We got over
Yeah.
this hand. I was like,
No, 100%.
I mean, with the nuts, yeah, I go ahead and raise.
Well, I guess I was thinking like it was a boat out there.
Okay.
I mean, like 100%. Like you can't be scared of monsters under the bed, but I did want to get value from lesser flushes while like not just getting stacked for my entire 5 or 600 by a slow played set.
Here's a question. So now that you don't have a boat, you have Queen Eye flush. So you raise to 100, and what if he shipped it all in? Then what?
I mean, I'm so sad. I mean, I think I have to call actually.
Which makes me wonder why you wouldn't ship there. If you're going to call
because I still want to get value from lesser stuff. Like if I ship there 400, I mean, like I think he's folding a lot of. I mean, everything that's lesser than a flush, I think he folds.
You guys had 400 effective. Okay,
we were pretty deep at that point.
481. Okay, so I'd probably make it like. I'd probably raise like 200, not 100.
That's probably a fair point. I mean, I definitely, like, after I played the hand, I definitely thought the raise was definitely too small. Mm-hmm. Now the question is, like, how big can I make it and getting value there? And, I mean, it's not like he, like, snap called or anything. It was a pretty long tank. So I think at max he did have just a pair of queens.
I mean, he snap called with his Queen 5 off, so he probably had even worse.
No, this is a different guy, I think, wasn't it? This is a guy that moved. This wasn't the same guy that you were on the Queen 5 hand.
He moved to my right, or he moved to our right.
Oh, is it the same? I guess it is the same guy.
Yeah, definitely the same guy.
No, well, yeah, probably should be raising bigger then.
Yeah, I was like...
Like I say, did not like how I played that hand at all. I mean, I did not like the check on the turn. Afterwards, I didn't love the raise on the river. I don't think I can get too much more value, but I definitely think it should have been 125, 130 or something like that.
I agree, but I mean, at the end of the day, kind of nitpicking, right? I mean, 100 to 130, I mean...
Oh, I had a winning session. At this point,
yeah.
Literally, every time I have a winning session now, I just cry from happiness leaving out the door.
Yeah, I was about to say, it feels like we're just kind of rambling on about this $30 difference, so...
Yeah, I mean,
at least you raised.
Yeah,
thank God.
There we go. Thank God, yeah. Thank God I didn't check. Just hope they'd be like, well, obviously he has a boat.
Yeah, I'd like to see a check full there a lot of the time from you.
I end up making a profit of 320 at that game, which definitely was much needed. Like I say, I've been just getting murdered. So the 320, I mean, although not one of my bigger wins, definitely helps.
I mean, it's bigger whenever it's really needed.
Yeah, 100%.
So then you ended up playing this week because after getting aces 3 times, well, I won 1 time, but aces cracked twice, kings cracked twice, and queen. I mean, whatever. The list goes on. Completely took the wind out of my sails this weekend. So you were really the one playing this week.
Yeah, it was. So I work Tuesday doing my regular job, and I'm kind of in the middle of Houston. I didn't really want to be in the and stuck in traffic. So once I got off about 4:30, I went to a place neither of us have played in a long time, at Empire over on Westheimer.
I know you used to love that place.
I haven't played there that much. Every time I went there, I had a really good time. So I don't know. It's not one of the nicer places in Houston, but I just always found it to be every time I went there, I just had a good time, and that's all I'm looking for the most part. I like to win too, but to have a good time, they usually come run hand in hand. I did not realize it was round of each. I get there, and I'm not really going for a long session, more just to get out of traffic for a little while. I end up kind of just floating around even for a long time. And then I'm pretty card dead on one of the Omaha hands. I have 4-5 of clubs, 8-10 off. The flop is ace 3-6 with 3-6 being clubs.
Is this a PLO hand you would normally play or not really? To me, it does not sound like a hand I would normally play.
Probably not, no. I mean, I was kind of card dead. This is on the cusp, if it's kind of a limp pot. But they're somewhat connected. It's a pretty trash PLO hand. It's not the worst, but definitely not something I'm looking to play or get involved with. But I don't want to sit there and just fold every time. I mean, I was very card dead, and I was looking just not to be the nittiest player.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, I completely understand that. I'm just saying, I was just curious as someone still fresh in PLO if does not sound like a hand I would try to play.
No, you'd be more like 4-5, like 7-8 would be good, or 6-7. I mean, it's kind of around there, but yeah, it's probably not really in the custom playable. But it is the flop is ace 3-6 with 3-6 being clubs, flopping me the open-ended straight flush draw.
Oh yeah, I mean, now all of a sudden I'm way happy with my decision.
Yeah, player bets 25, one call. I think this is where a lot of people would go wrong here and raise, but really it's open-ended straight flush draw, but what you're really drawing to is a crappy flush most of the time.
Yeah.
Or, a straight that's most of the time going to make a crappy flush. I just call. I feel like that's the best way to go about this hand.
100% agree with this.
The turn is the 7, giving me the absolute nuts. It checks to me. It goes check, check. I pot it for 105. The next player kind of tanks for a while, ends up calling. The other player folds. The river is not one I love. It's the jack of clubs.
Damn.
Taking me from the nuts to 50 of the nuts with a shitty flush.
Yeah, I was about to say way down there.
But I turn it over, say I have a flush, and sure enough, I win. That pretty much was the only hand of the session that was of any note. I play 30 to 45 minutes more, wait for traffic to die down, and I cash out for a profit of 105.
Beautiful. Take that every time.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, being on this downswing, I'm really looking to have just any profits here. So $105, I definitely take it, especially in a session that was card dead most of it. So we did that, and then I play tonight at a place I haven't played at in a while either. Is Paramount, one of my favorite places. It was Wednesday. The only thing I don't like about Paramount is actually two things.
Clint, actually, let me just list some stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a whatchamacallit. It takes cash games so long in the night to get they really don't start the cash games until 9 o'clock.
Especially on Wednesday with that big free roll.
Yeah, so I wasn't that annoyed because I knew it did take a while, but I went there to watch the Astros game, and I was having a good time, but I was definitely, if the cash games started a little bit earlier, it sure would be nice.
Did you play the free roll?
No, I did not. I went in there early enough to do it, and they're like, do you want to do it? I've just found that when I do these tournaments, I just don't play cash after, and the cash needs to be the priority.
Couldn't agree more.
Uh,
I mean, yeah. Last thing we need to do is dump 5.5 hours in a free roll to bubble and then just go home.
well, I've noticed I'll always be like, well, I'll do the tournament first and I'll do cash after. But, I mean, I just never do. Like, these tournaments take so long to play. We're playing shorthanded at the very beginning. The bomb pot, I have ace 9, 8, 6.
Suited to the ace?
I think it...
Or is it irrelevant?
I think it becomes irrelevant in this hand. The flop is ace 9 5, giving me top 2 pair on one board, and 8 8 jack, giving me trips with top kicker on the other board.
I see. Very irrelevant. So to answer my question, yes.
Player bets 20. There's one call. I pot it for 115. I pot it for 115. A player calls for less, and I scoop. So it was a nice little start to the session.
Did he just have a lesser eight? Is that what?
100%.
Yeah,
that's
what I was thinking.
I mean, I knew like I was pretty far ahead when it comes to him. He kind of hems and haws, and he's like, "Do you have Jack 8?" Because I was like, "Well, I beat everything outside of Jack 8, so I mean it means he's on a lesser 8." Then this is a pretty good session. This is my major screw up.
It wouldn't be a poker session without it.
Yeah. So I know everybody loves Omaha hands, but this is where stuff happens. I have ace, queen, 10, 7. And the player makes...
Any suits or...
I don't think this ace is suited. I think the queen 10 might be suited here.
I mean, I would still be playing this even if it was unsuited, right? I mean, I would.
3 Broadway cards are usually pretty good.
That's right.
And they're all fairly connected. This is definitely a callable hand here. Player makes it 15. Everybody calls. The flop comes queen 7 8.
So top and bottom pair.
Exactly. The pre-flop raiser pots it for 90. It folds all the way to me. So here's my theory here. It's on queen 7 8. I'm blocking pocket queens. I have 2 pair. It seems like aces and kings. I see them get overplayed a lot in PLO. What do you do here?
I mean, I don't know if it matters what I do. Whatever I do is probably not the right move.
Well,
I mean, I would think. I mean, how deep are you?
Maybe 3. Probably no. I had money left over. I was probably about 350 to 4.
God, I wonder if this is just a fold sometimes. I mean, unless you're going to stack off here, because I kind of think. I mean, I think you're probably going to be repotting. Are you repotting it here, or are you just flat? Well, I guess in the moment, depending on the player, I'm either folding or calling.
I mean, I think all would have merit. Because here's the thing: is if when you call this and you're committed,
that's kind of my thought. And do you really want to commit with top and bottom 2 pair in a PLO hand?
So,
I mean, I don't know what happens, but I'm just kind of at that stack size when he pots it. I mean, how many people are behind you?
There's only one, and he looks not interested in the hand, and I don't think he even has us covered. So I'm not sure it comes into play much.
Well, no. But if there was like 4 people behind you, then I think it's an easy fold.
Oh, yeah, I do agree there.
I don't know. I don't know what I do, but I guess...
I make the call.
I think that's what I do a bigger percentage. I think it's probably like 60% of the time I probably just call, 40% of the time I fold. That's probably how I would describe it.
Yeah. The turn is a 4. He goes all in. And now 5-6 is there. This turn should get me off this hand right here. If the flop bet doesn't, this turn should.
I agree.
Because I don't know how often he has 5-6 with this pre-flop raise, and then just decides to raise with a random straight draw. But what am I really beating at this point?
Not much at all.
But I'm like, well, if I thought he might have aces or kings, I mean, this turn 4 does nothing for that. I end up making the call, and he has pocket queens. I literally am drawing dead. We ran it twice, and I boat. And I'm still dead.
Wow. Wait, why did you run it twice?
Well, he's like, do you want to run it twice? And I was like, sure, because I just always... And then I'm like, he's like, are you even drawing to outs? And I was like,
That is not what you want to hear out of the other guy.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, like just... And then the dealer looks confused. I'm like, just run it twice. In case, like, I was, like, scared that I was going to be like, no, I have no outs. And see, like, a random straight on the river. I felt like that would be kind of shady. So I was like, just run it twice.
Didn't you do that last week?
I'm sure I did, man.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. It sounds like something just completely in my wheelhouse.
So remember you were like, I have 2 pair. No, wait, I have a set.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did. Oh, God, that was...
That's like that. What's
That
it
was
called?
the dirtiest slow roll I've ever done. Completely by accident, but it was definitely the dirtiest slow roll I've ever done.
Yeah, you were like, call an ambulance, but not for me. Sad. I have a dirtier slow roll for you. I had one hand where I thought I was on a straight draw and a flush draw, and I missed my straight. Oh, no. I had a 1. It was a 4-liner to a flush, and I only had 1 of them. And I was like, oh, you're good. I only have 4 high. And I went to muck, and I put the cards in front of me to muck, and they turned over their hand, and they were pushing the pot, and I go, hey, wait, I have a spade, and turned it over.
Oh, God.
I was like, wait, there's 4 spades out there. I have a spade. Boom.
God, so that had to be actually no limit, too.
Yeah.
God damn. I mean, like, at least I'm doing this in Omaha where everybody misreads their hand. I mean, no limit. Like, oh, man. But, well, at least that's me and Tyler. Fucking dirty slow rollers. So this brings me down to like $50. So I'm getting I'm like now, like I went from way up to like losing most of my stack on a hand that I know I misplayed. Not a happy camper.
Yeah, I called you and I was like, yikes, and hung up.
Yeah. Like I add on for $100 here. I mean, it's a get into a bomb pot. This might be the worst hand I've ever played that just happened to get lucky. I don't know.
I mean, it can't be any more lucky than you randomly hitting a straight flush that one time in PLO and not realizing it until the last second.
That's true. That's a good point. Bomb pot, I flopped 2 pair on both boards. I have ace deuce on one board, and I have ace 8 on the other. I pot it. I'm like, well, if I can get this on these, if I can get more heads up, this is very strong, but in a multi-way pot, it's not that strong. But the problem is the pot on the flop is only $35. It's called a lot of ways.
Oh, God.
Both boards straighten out, giving like possible straights. Ends up going all in. There's a guy who goes all in. Another one, it folds, another call. But the all-ins aren't gigantic. One is for, like, the top one is for $107. So into this pot that's fairly sizable now. I mean, it starts off like 35. I mean, it was 35 multiple ways on the flop. So it's 107 into probably about a little over $200 pot.
You know, like in these PLO hands, these PLO bomb pots, when it goes 3 ways all in, and one guy doesn't chop one of the pots, doesn't get quartered, I always wonder what he could possibly have. Now I know. Because like when both people have like the nutted hand, and then one person just has nothing.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to be that guy, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to be that guy.
I was about to say, this is sounding like you're about to be that guy.
So like it comes to me, like one is for 107, the other one's for less. I'm like, well, I'm probably good on at least one of the boards with that one guy and all there.
Okay.
I'm like, I go ahead and call, and I chop all of it. One guy flips over all the cards that would make all the straights with it there, but he actually has one straight and one...
Lesser 2 pair?
one lesser two pair.
Yeah.
The other guy had literally nothing. He rivered a set, but was on the straight board that the guy had, and I was my ace deuce held up for the half the pot.
I mean, how are you even on a downswing?
I mean, I don't know, man.
I mean, he shoots it with-
I'm making soul reads at double board palm pots.
I mean, all in with nothing.
I mean,
Clint calls with the worst hand he could possibly have, and then still win.
oh, it was so bad, man. It was just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, not.
I did not realize that this is what had to happen for you to have a winning session, but happy you at least won.
Yeah, I have to have people just be in there with literally nothing to win these games. So that was actually a pretty gigantic pot. Don't know how I ended up with it. One of those that, I don't know, I pray. Prayers were answered.
I mean, I'll put it this way. You're definitely buying the lottery tickets this week.
So there's a $12 bet. We are playing 1-2. I have 6-7 of hearts. I call. It goes 8 ways to a flop.
This sounds right.
Flop is 4-5-6 rainbow.
And you have 6-7?
I have 6-7. I'm in early position. I bet 75 into this pot. Ooh, let me see what you say, because I think this is a good bet. I'm wondering what you're sneering at.
Okay, so recap this again for me. So were you the pre-flop raiser?
No, I was not.
Okay, so you're donking 75 here?
Correct.
That seems bold, but okay. So, okay. Let's go over this one more time for me nice and slow, because I was not thinking it was going to take this turn.
Okay. So, it's $12 to go.
Okay.
It goes 8 ways to the flop, or as multi-way as possible. I might have misspoke. It might have been 9 ways. I don't remember. It was almost everybody at the tables there. It flops. I have 6-7 of hearts. It flops 4-5-6 rainbow. And I donk gigantically $75 into the pot. So
Pretty sick. I mean, I love betting gigantic when you can get just snapped off by the nuts, or way better hands with all those people behind you. Because were you early position?
yes, very early. Okay. Can I give you my theory on this?
I mean,
So I flopped top pair.
I'm on that. I got that.
So I'm beating a lot of hands that have a ton of equity. Where like king queen, king jack, ace 10, like literally the entire deal. So I can get all of those hands to fold. Anything that calls, I'm at least 50-50.
I mean, 7-8 probably beg to differ, but
I mean, I don't know I get. Well, yeah, that would be a problem. But I mean, we're talking about one hand in the deck.
so okay, keep
So
going.
this is my theory. Like I say, I want to get all these hands with tons of equity out, and I'm not really scared of anything. I'm like against so player goes all in for 150 over my $75 bet.
This sounds perfect.
But I mean, I snapped this off instantly.
Well, now that you bet 75, yeah.
I mean, because like I'm not scared of anything really here. He has pocket queens. We run it once. I turn an 8, and I'm good. So, but which is my thought. Like I can get all these hands to fold that have a ton of equity, and anything that calls me, I'm most likely at least 50-50. I mean, pocket queens, I might be ahead here. It'd be close. Because, I mean, any 8, any 3, any 6, any 7 is good there. Has me good there, which I think is probably going to put me either at 50-50 or either above 50-50 or very close to it.
I mean, cool. I'm happy it worked out. Yeah, I mean,
You don't seem sold on this play. I actually really like this play.
sweet.
I mean, Are you going to give me any reason that you are acting like I'm a complete retard right now? I mean, are you going to give me any analysis that just like, staring at me like I might be the biggest dipshit on earth? I
think it's sick you won. But, that part is sweet. I hate that when there's so many people behind you. I guess I get the theory, but it's dicey, how deep are you here? I don't even know if that matters. I don't know. I think I like checking and I don't even know how I'd play this hand.
So if it checks and it's like bet, are you just calling at that point? It seems like
so multi-way. I'm playing this so passively. I am. I just don't play 8-way pots this aggressively without literally the nuts. I'm checking this. I'm check calling until. I just never play a hand this multi-way so aggressive. Just literally never. It's just how you get torched over and over and over again. That's why I hate it.
Oh, I don't know. I just think this is easily the best way to play this hand. If everything misses, you're taking down $100 pot uncontested. If somebody happens to have even a set here, well, a set would be. You would even a set. You're running about 32%, and over pairs like 50%. I don't know. I just really like the donk. I really like the donk lead on this exact hand, but
yeah, not how I would have played it, but it worked, so it had to be good.
That turn really helped.
Yeah.
I like it because of that turn. I will say that. So I have King 9 of spades. Bet 15, I get called 7 ways. I flop a flush. Player bets 20 in early position. I only call. I'm
Okay.
not. Oh, do you like this? I thought you would hate this.
No. Not with such a nutted flush.
Okay, that was kind of what I was thinking.
No, I like this a lot. Did anyone call behind? If it goes he bets call, then I probably raise. But if it's heads up, I like a slow play here a lot because, you can't. If you get coolered with the ace high flush, that is what it is. But I feel like you probably have a pretty strong hold on this hand right now.
Okay, well then, because I call hoping that a player calls behind me.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all.
Okay, I thought you would hate this. I make the call, and then a player behind does call. So adding, and I'm looking for a turn that is very safe, that I get it. I still maintain second nuts.
I like this even more because the guy is in early position betting, so you can now determine the turn what happens.
Yeah. The turn is blank. It checks to me. Both players check. I bet 75.
I thought the guy's behind you, but because didn't you call and he called behind, so they both couldn't check.
He must have check called.
Okay.
I definitely know they both checked to me on this.
Okay.
So he must have check called.
I like the 75.
Yeah, the 75, and one player calls. The one who called behind, and then the other player folds. River pairs the board.
Hey, man. It seems like every time you're trying to fade a board pair.
But at this point, he checks to me, and I'm like, there's too much value.
I was about to say, you have to bet for value here.
And he probably had like a half pot size bet left, so I just go all in.
Yeah, I like all this. That seems...
He folds, but I'm glad that I'm getting some value, going for a little. This is not thin value, but definitely not getting scared of these rivers. Mm-hmm. So that was the last big hand. I was up quite a bit. I did whittle down a little bit, but I cashed out with a profit of 305.
It was great. Yeah, I like that last hand way more than the. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that 6-7 hand and come back to you.
Yeah, I was a big fan of how I played that, but I like playing aggressively on that when I have such a strong hand with strong equity, and if everybody misses, and I don't bet that, and like a queen comes, seems like a disaster.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Most of the time, I just lose multi-way pots. I just don't really even put forth much of an effort to win them unless I flop the nuts or, I mean, so.
Yeah, I definitely think on that. I kind of like that one, but it's but I mean, like like when you flop that strong of a hand, there's really not a horrible way to play it for the most part.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's one kind of thing. There's merit to literally everything other than folding, so.
Yeah, as long as you don't fold there, you're pretty much...
I mean, I love it if it was three ways. That's how I'd play it if I was three ways, for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, you definitely have more fold equity.
Yeah, so.
It's a...
I'm still more... Well, I guess, never mind. It's fine. Continue.
So we're going to... So, like, Friday... So, I mean, I'll play poker for... There's obviously a lot of reasons to play poker. I mean, there's players like us who play for profit. You can play for fun as a social, just to be competitive, while kind of like the tournaments.
I mean, I don't even know why I'm playing anymore. I'm not having fun or winning, so.
Well, we're looking for your reason.
Yeah, I like to waste time.
But there is the part of me that, one, is I like playing. There's a couple different reasons. I like playing at new settings, meet new people. Like, I mean, me and Tyler have always been different. You could go to the same place over and over again, and it doesn't really bother you. I like to go to, like, different places, see different card rooms, meet new people. And therefore, like, you started out at these free bar, playing at these kind of free bar poker. I end up going to Stampede Houston last Friday because I'd heard about it. And I was like, I just want something a little bit different, a little different atmosphere than I'm used to. So I go, they say they have an 8 o'clock game, an 11 o'clock game. It's a big country western bar. I like country western music.
Are you saying, when you say game, you mean tournament or game?
A tournament.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just one of those free roll bar tournaments. Go there, and I tell you what, this place is just off the charts as far as nice. I mean, it's one of the more popular places in Houston for country and western. They have a gigantic dance floor. I mean, they've got all these places where you set up to take pictures. A lot of pool tables, just pretty much everything. They have a mechanical bull that I saw people riding on.
Did you ride?
Did not ride. Everybody's seen Urban Cowboy. Nobody wants to watch me ride a bull. It's so we go.
I think of one person who would like to watch you fall off of a bull.
I know you'd love it. I mean, you love to see me get hurt. So the only complaint I did have about this game was it says at 8 and 11, and it was only one game, and it started like way after 8. It was like 9. This is like almost 9:30. So I did not care for that. But otherwise, it was just a really fun game.
Where were the tables in correlation to like the dance floor and the bar?
So you walk in, like the bar is like straight ahead. The dance floor is to your left. So you're very much separated from like the dance floor and all that.
So you're to the right? So if you're walking in the bar straight ahead, the dance floor is on the left. Are you on the right and kind of on the side of the bar?
The bar's kind of like, yeah, if you walk in, the bar's like straight ahead. You look to the left, there's a dance floor and everything. Then you look to the right, and there's like pool tables and all that.
Okay.
Further right, there's like a raised area with its own separate bar, and that's where the poker tables are.
Sounds really nice and pretty cool.
Yeah, and a gigantic big screen TV, which the Astros game was going, so that was pretty fun. And I mean, it was, like I say, I wanted to go into an environment where it was very chilled, kind of relaxed, have a couple drinks, and just have a good time. And it really, really hit the spot. If you're trying to get into poker and you're not really playing a lot of cash games and you want kind of a lively place to go and try, do these tournaments, definitely the coolest place I think I've ever done like a free roll tournament at.
So how much were you in for once everything was said and done?
At Stampede?
Yeah.
Did
you have to buy like a drink or anything, or was it literally? Was it an actual free roll, or kind of what was that? Because you know how most of the time in Texas when you say a free roll, it's like $60.
Oh well, no. When I say in free roll, as far as a bar goes, it's always free.
Okay, not drinks to get chips or anything or add-ons.
There were no like add-ons as far as getting drinks that I saw. I got several drinks. I didn't really see anybody looking to see if I had drinks to like play or to get extra chips. So it seemed like that was kind of away from it, which is kind of nice because I've played at those bars where you get chips for extra drinks. I used to like it because it was more deep stacked. But, I mean, you want to talk about playing with a bunch of drunks at that point when you just drink and get more chips.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the most lively event like I've done at like a bar type deal. And it was super cool. It's definitely worth going and checking out if you're in the Houston area.
Nice. Well, I guess that's about it for me. Do you have anything else to cover?
No, that's pretty much it. We'll see what happens the rest of this week and then next week, and then we'll be back with whatever's going on.
Sounds good. I guess on that note, this concludes Texas Poker Podcast. We'll talk to you next week.
That was the Texas Poker Podcast. Go ahead and rack up, add time, and we'll see you next week.